So how do you know what will fit? One of the things you can do is you can do a floor plan of your new space. And the other thing is a list of rooms in your current space compared to the new space. Guessing what will fit does not work. So floor plans. Now you may not know where you're moving. I don't know where I'm moving, but I know that I want to move to a place that's only about 1,000 square feet. So I looked online for floor plans to get dimensions of rooms, so I'd have an idea of what I would have to work with. Your floor plan does not have to be fancy. This is one I did for a client who had a master bedroom that was about 4 times the size of the house he was having built. And he wanted to have a recliner in his bedroom on an angle facing the TV. And I told him that. I said it would be really, really tight, because generally you want 3 feet in between furniture to move. And also you might want to stop and think about if you need room in the future, maybe for a wheelchair. So I did a floor plan, and I used graph paper that has 1 square to a foot, so that you can easily see if there's 3 feet to move and how much space there is. And then I draw the furniture, I measure the furniture, and I draw it on the same graph paper on another sheet, and I cut it out. I usually outline it in blue or black so it stands out, and I use a glue stick to attach it so it's easy to move around. And when you put it on the floor plan, then you can get a visual idea. Now, if you know where you're moving and you have the actual floor plan, note the windows, the floor vents, wall vents, electrical, cable, and phone. Keep in mind the depth of the baseboard. In my living room, the floor vents for heating and air conditioning, there's one in the middle of each of 2 floors. It's near the wall, but that means I can't put a big piece of furniture on that wall. So once you know where you're going, take that into consideration too. But I find that doing the floor plan helps people who are visual. The other option is to list the rooms in your current home and in your future home. So here's an example of mine. I call it a tiny townhouse. It's 1,800 square feet, which includes the unfinished basement. So I listed the rooms I have. I put in the dimensions. Then from one of the floor plans I found online of a place that would be similar to one I'm moving to, I listed the rooms and the dimensions. And then I highlighted in yellow the rooms that I have that I will not have in the new place. One of the areas that I looked at on this list, the dining area that I have now, it's a country kitchen with a kitchen and a dining area. And where I would move, there would be a combination living room dining area. That combination living room dining area is about the same size as my current living room. So it's like, okay, I probably am not taking my dining room table. I have an office that's got a desk, a table, 4 2-drawer file cabinets. I would have to get rid of all of that because I would not have a place for it. A friend of mine who recently downsized let me share her list. They went from a place that was about 6,000 square feet to about 4,000. And they had a lot fewer rooms. Actually, when they looked at this, they opted to have a loft built in their new place that they were having built, where they put an exercise room and an office. So this helps a lot because you can actually see with the space, you have to get rid of a lot of furniture if you're moving to a smaller size. And one of the things that helps is if you figure out the square foot percentage of your new home compared to your current home. In my case, my new home would probably be 60% of my current home. So I have to get rid of at least 40% of my stuff. One of my friends recently downsized from an 8,000 square foot house to a 2,500 square foot house. She said she is getting rid of 2/3 of her stuff. And she's a retired researcher. She's done a great job. She's been able to sell some things and consign some things, but it takes time. She said it's a full-time job. So the sooner you can start, the better off you are. Also, when you're moving, think about the size of your kitchen cabinets and closets in your current home and what you're going to have in the new one. Chances are you're going to have fewer kitchen cabinets and fewer shelves and smaller closets or less of them. And what some people suggest is to put blue painter's tape on the floor in front of your current closets and kitchen cabinets for the linear feet you'll have in your new space. Then you can take a look at what you have and say, oh, I've got to get rid of these things. And you might even want to start getting rid of them now and keeping what you have in space that's similar to your new space. You can also use blue painter's tape to mark the space, say in your living room. If your living room, like mine, is 15 by 15 and my new living room is going to be half the size of that, I could put painter's tape down and then move my furniture around and see what would fit. You also want to think about how much wall space you have to hang artwork. One of my clients moved to Florida and she had a lot of windows, so she had very little space to hang artwork. And that helped her decide what to get rid of before she moved everything down to Florida. In your new space, you may not have a basement or an attic where you can store things or a garage. So think about all of that and get rid of as much as you can before you move, because it's a lot harder to get rid of it once you've moved.